It's the Joe Show. It's the Joe Show with me, Joe. It's Thoughtful Thursday, which normally means I read an article that makes you go, huh. But today we're doing something different, and I'm going to actually share my thoughts on a topic that is very near and dear to my heart and my head. I know I said heart and pointed to my head, but you know what I was talking about. And that is the topic of being bald, something I have a decade of experience with. I know you might be thinking, but Joe, you're not showing us your bald head right now. You're wearing a hat. There's a reason for that. We're going to get to that in a little bit. The reason I want to bring this up, or what prompted me to even think about this today, was I subscribed to a subreddit where bald people come together and pump each other up or just talk about being bald. I honestly don't look at it very often, but I was on Reddit today and I noticed a post and I wanted to make a response to it in video on my show to really talk about my feelings about being bald, because I think a lot of bald men suffer from feelings of insecurity and lack of confidence because they don't have hair. And so I just wanted to put my thoughts into video and share it with you guys. So I'm going to read the original post here. It comes from a user, OXDXMX. And my man, I'm going to be showing some pictures of you in this video, so I apologize for that. If you want me to remove them, I probably won't, because I'm very busy and editing, and going back and editing is a huge pain in my butt. So I apologize. I'm also not going to ask for permission. What's going to happen is I'm going to share my stuff. You put yourself out on the internet, so I'm taking that as consent. Just as a heads up, I've had people reach out for my free compliment videos. If you're putting yourself on the internet, I'm taking that as consent. So here's what he writes. I've been balding since I was around 23, 24 years old. I'm 33 right now. So am I, my man. I had perfectly fine and thick hair, and then the genetic lottery decided to hit me. By 25, my hair was thinning, so I did the whole go out slowly by buzzing shorter and shorter each time. Now, I took the plunge at 27, 28-ish and shaved it off with a razor and have done so ever since. I've grown a good beard. I've managed to get fit, not like a ripped body, but a visible fit and all. I dress well. I get compliments from both coworkers and strangers all the time. I usually don't care. I just hate that I have to shave it so often to get a smooth skull, but whatever. It is what it is. However, for some reason, I haven't found a girlfriend yet. The last relationship I was in, the girl was kind of self-conscious because she was dating a bald man. She knew me before I started balding, and she herself told me a couple times that I looked better with hair. That was a complete blow to my self-esteem, especially coming from someone I really liked and all. Now, I do talk to some other people, but somehow they seem to be put off by the fact that I'm bald. I was talking to this girl on Instagram. We were clicking and everything going well, and sent her a couple of pics here and there. I don't post pictures of myself online because I've never liked sharing my life online like that. And all the pics I've sent her always had been with me wearing a hat. But she saw one I posted on my story where I'm without a hat. Then everything changed. She doesn't seem to be as interested anymore and actively avoids me. On the one side, I should be like, yeah, she's probably not into bald guys or whatever. But my question is, why? I mean, really? Is it that bad that I'm bald? Are people really that shallow? I'll upload pics in the comments if need be, which he did. But anyway, just like the title says, I need some words of support, please. So I want to break down this post. I want to give you my opinion on the matter and then also share my experience of being bald. So this might be a longer video, and I'm probably not going to edit it too heavily. I edited myself reading it because I stumbled a couple times. But that said, the rest of this I probably won't actually edit too much because it's a lot of work, and I make the show daily. You guys know? You know? Speaking of which, because I make it daily, if you like my content, hit that subscribe button and mash that bell to get a notification when I do upload new videos. I put a lot of work in this. I put a lot of energy into it, and I really would like at least a couple more people watching my show and commenting and interacting. I like interacting with my audience. So if you know somebody, or you like my content, or have suggestions on how we can make this a better show, hit me up, hit that subscribe button. I look forward to it. So let's go and review this letter, or this monologue, this request for support. I'm going to start at the top. Been balding since I was 23 to 24 years old. That's around the time that I started balding as well, and about a year later I took the plunge myself and shaved my head. And for me, it was also a big blow to my self-esteem. Unlike this person, I actually also had a lovely, big, fluffy set of hair. Looked like I had a mop on my head, but for some reason I got voted best hair in high school. And so my hair had been an identity and had been tied to me pretty strongly, especially because I was voted best hair. And so when it started balding and I started, noticing the thinning, it was actually quite crushing until I finally got fed up with it and shaved my head. And I remember shaving my head. My mom responded when I posted a picture and said, "Oh my God, what did you do?" And I was like, "Mom, you know what? It's thinning. I don't like it. I've just got to shave it." And I took the plunge and I shaved it. I wasn't a huge fan and I knew there was really no going back, but at the time I wasn't very financially stable and I couldn't interact with products like Hims. Hims.com, if you don't know, if you're a balding young man, if you're around, 23, 24 or earlier and balding and you can afford it, now there's an easy way that you can get help through Hims.com. This is not an advertisement for them, but they provide affordable, high quality medication for balding men, and it's better to take care of it earlier than later, because if you wait, then you're going to end up like my friend here and myself, and you're going to have to shave your head. And hopefully you have a nice head like my friend here does and like I do, but not everybody is so lucky. So I totally understand where he's coming from. I'm also 33 right now. Like he said, he's 33 right now. So we're in almost the exact same boat here. He says that he has grown a good beard, which he has. I've seen a picture of him. I'll put up a picture in a little bit. I unfortunately cannot grow a beard. Every time I start to grow a beard, it actually messes with my face. I am lucky in the fact that I have a nice, I guess you could say, angular or nice jawline on my face. And so I have a pretty decent head. And whenever I grow out a beard, it hides that and then also makes my cheeks look thicker. So I get this round looking head. It's not a good look, right? So you got to find what works for you when you're bald. If growing a beard works for you, then grow a nice thick beard like this guy can. I cannot grow a nice thick beard. It's a little patchy, doesn't quite look like it, but it is a little patchy. I don't like it, so I don't grow a beard. So you just got to find what works for your head. Some dudes look better bald with a beard. Some dudes look better bald without a beard. Jason Statham, for example, looks great without a beard. It says he also got fit. This is extremely important for a bald man. When you're really skinny and bald and white like I am, you can actually look like you might be getting chemotherapy, like you might be having cancer, like you're sick, and that's not a good look. So getting fit and being a little bit buff, maybe bulking a little bit, growing some muscle, helps project a more masculine appeal and a more confident appeal as well, or appearance, not appeal. You project a more confident and masculine appearance. So I'm glad to hear that he is getting fit, and maybe I would also suggest bulking a little bit. If you're interested in it, hit me up. I used to do bodybuilding, so I can help out there. And he also mentions he dresses well, which is also a hard thing for bald men to do. I do have clothes that I don't like because I don't think it works well with my bald head. Dress-up shirts are one of them. I'm not a huge fan of wearing dress-up shirts. I don't like how I look in them. I think this guy likes how he looks in them, so he wears them more often. But you got to find a style that works for you. So it's good that he's getting compliments from his coworkers and from strangers all the time. Now we get into the part that I take a little bit of contention with, and that is the linking his baldness to dating, which I am a big offender of. If you ask my friends, I used to do that constantly. And you know what? I have done it all the way up until this past year. So I feel like I have the ability to comment on this very well. And so he goes on to say, for some reason, I haven't found a girlfriend yet. That sentence alone bothers me off the bat for a couple reasons. One, it says, but for some reason I haven't found a girlfriend yet. So he has had girlfriends in the past, because he goes on to describe at least one relationship that he had. So he has found girlfriends. What he's saying here is I don't have a girlfriend currently, which means that he's putting a lot of value and a lot of weight and a lot of his self-worth on having a girlfriend, which is never a good look. And he's correlating that to being bald. So he's saying, I don't have a girlfriend yet. I want a girlfriend, and the reason I don't have a girlfriend is because I'm bald. And that takes us into some pretty dangerous territory. I myself have also made this correlation incorrectly before, and I gotta tell you, it's not right. That's not why you don't have a girlfriend. The reason why you don't have a girlfriend is because you are probably a little bit thirsty, because you want it too bad. And I know that's such a weird thing to say, but I was also that way, where I wanted it too bad. before we get into that and how I got out of that rut, I'm going to go on with his writing again. The last relationship I was in, the girl was kind of self-conscious because she was dating a bald man. This is messed up. Totally. But it's not messed up on his part, it's messed up on her part. And it's not a reflection on you and your attractiveness or your self-worth. It's a reflection of her own self-worth problems. So she's projecting her own thoughts and feelings onto you, and then you're internalizing that. And that's not okay. She had the problem here, not you. I want to keep repeating that. She had the problem here, not you. Perhaps she doesn't like bald men. Maybe she's not attracted to them, whatever it is. Socially at that age, and I'm guessing this is around mid-20s, girls in their mid-20s are honestly the worst. They have no idea what they're doing with their lives. They don't know what they want to do. They're very lost. Also, young men are. I've tried dating 25-year-old girls, and it has always ended up in a mess. And also, I probably wouldn't want to date a 25-year-old dude if I was a girl in my 30s. Just most dudes aren't together by that point either. And our brains aren't even finished developing until like 28. But girls at 25 are a mess. So you were dating a girl that had a lot going on, and she just could not deal with the fact that you were bald, it sounds like, and mentioned a couple times to you that you look better with hair. But also, screw her, I think you look great bald. We got to bring up a picture of this guy so you guys know what I'm talking about. So on that note, let's look at a picture of this guy. Here's a picture he posted of him standing. He looks fine. I wish that he didn't have the sunglasses on. Everyone was commenting on how he has nice forearms. He does have nice forearms. Also, he has a nice beard. It looks like he's got a beard fade going on. It fits his face. The cut is well. He does dress nicely. I mean, he's got a button-up shirt on. I ironically do today as well. Nice shoes. He looks like he's pretty well put together. So that's the man that we're talking about here. Here's another picture of him. Looks fine. Looks fine. The only other thing that I would mention is that maybe your pants are a little bit loose. You could probably get some tighter fitting pants, which also helps make you look a little bit taller. But your head shape seems fine. Your beard is awesome. I'm jealous of it. I can't grow a beard that looks like that, so I'm jealous of it. Wish you didn't have the aviator glasses on. But otherwise, pretty handsome dude. I think we can all agree. Handsome guy. One other thing that might be working against him, which also works against me, is height. He doesn't look very tall, and girls actually, I think, have a bigger problem with that than about the baldness. But that's a whole nother story. In summary, that girl had a problem, and you do not want to date girls like that. You need to have a higher self-worth to not date girls that care about how bald you are. And then he goes on to describe how he is talking to another girl on Instagram. And there's another problem too, is using Instagram as a dating platform. I hate to break it to you, but Instagram is not a dating platform. People can use it for dating, but it's not a dating platform. It's also not reality. I don't like Instagram at all. I post a lot on it. If you want to see my socials, I've said it here on the show. It's at Cannoli Natoli. You can check it out. I used to post very often and try to do motivational, businessy type content. But Instagram to me now feels very fake. It feels very cultivated, where people cultivate a certain presentation of themselves that does not accurately reflect them in reality. And I know that because I dated a person who is now a semi-professional fitness influencer and is also dating a fitness influencer. And I saw what she was like and how she presented herself on Instagram versus real life, and there's no overlap. And people also share their best selves. So you get jealous and you're comparing yourself a lot to people on Instagram. My advice there is stop dating on Instagram. But also, with that being said, he goes on to talk about how she stopped responding or started acting differently once she, quote, found out that he was bald. I don't think that the reason that she changed is because she found out he was bald. I think, one, we're living in 2020. I'm assuming he's talking about this year. COVID hit, everything changed, people are acting differently, people are reprioritizing and changing a lot. She could have gotten sick of social media and just stopped going on social media. I've had people just flake on social media and just leave because they're sick of the platform. I myself have been posting not a lot recently, and so I'm sure other people think that I stopped responding to them. I haven't. I just don't like going on Instagram. Sorry. So she could have found or had a life change that took her off Instagram. Maybe she found a boyfriend. Like, who knows? You were just chatting with her on Instagram. I mean, I don't know. That's all you said. But you're, again, correlating things that, or you're correlating a causation. And causation here isn't Correlation isn't causation in this case. Jesus Christ. So you noticed that she stopped responding when she saw your picture. Who knows if she actually knows that she stopped responding when she saw your picture, but you're so in your life and in your head about being bald that you saw her look at your story, and now you have correlated that because she saw you being bald, she doesn't want to talk to you anymore or changed. I don't think that's the case. Also, you mentioned that you send yourself in hats a lot. I am almost always in a hat, and I saw people in the comments here telling you to lose the hat, and to that I say, fuck you. Fuck you, person who said lose the hat. If you want to wear a hat, you can wear a hat. And if you want to wear a hat every single day, the same hat, you should be allowed to do that, because people with hair get to wear their hair the same fucking way every day, or almost every day. They style it the same way, and we don't say shit about it. So if you want to use a hat as an extension of your hair and representation of who you are, you have every right to do that, and no one should make you feel bad for wearing a hat. That said, if you don't want to wear a hat, you should also feel confident in having your bald head out. So, there we go on the hat topic. And now I'm going to take my hat off. That's the reason why I had my hat on. I wear hats all the time. I'm always wearing hats, whether it's a baseball cap or a beanie. Sometimes, very rarely, I will actually go out with my bald head. I also don't tan very well, and when you're bald, when you're a little bit tan, just a little bit, it helps out a lot to not make you look like a sick person. And I just don't go out and tan very often. I don't want to get the skin cancer. I'm very fair-skinned, so I don't tan my head. But if you do want to have that tan look, you can get some skin bronzer and just use it maybe like every 3 days or every 4 days, so you don't turn into a pumpkin like Donald Trump does. But I have used that before, a little bit of bronzer on the head and on the body. It does help out a little bit, and it's pretty benign if you're doing it every 3 days. Then you don't turn orange. I want to wrap it up into some advice for my man over here, and then also, I guess, share a little bit of my experience in the process. So my advice here first is to stop worrying about flirting on Instagram and maybe try doing it on Tinder. I'm just going to start there. You can try Tinder out with at least one bald picture, and that way the girls know what they're getting into. On my Tinder, I don't think I had a picture of me bald at all. I was always wearing hats, but that's also because, like I said, I'm always wearing hats and it doesn't bother me. And if anyone has a problem with it, I don't care. I like wearing hats. But on the point of dating, I would also advise you to stop putting so much effort and so much weight and worth on having a girlfriend and on dating. And what instead I would suggest for you to do is find something that makes you happy and makes you passionate and makes you forget about dating and gives you value for your life. I started that with this show. So earlier this year, I just started doing this. There was something inside of me. I have always liked being on camera and acting and being a loud person. And I'm not like that normally in real life too much, but I enjoy doing it. And so I just wanted to do something on camera. So I started this show. And ever since I started doing this show, yes, I've lost social contacts because I'm not as active socially. I'm not messaging my friends as much, but I also don't put so much value on finding a partner and finding a girlfriend. As I noticed once I started making my show and I had something else to care about, I really stopped caring about if I was single or not. I was just caring about getting my job done, living my life, and then also making content and being happy about it. So find something that really brings you joy and then devote yourself to it. And that way you're not so concerned with finding a girlfriend and finding a partner, and you'll find one along the way. And on that note of finding things that make you happy, I noticed that you did make one comment about succulents. So you clearly enjoy gardening or enjoy plants, and that follows into my third piece of advice or second piece of advice. I don't know where we're at, which is get a social hobby. And so this is kind of hard right now with COVID because meetups and things are down, especially in the United States. I don't know where you're located, but it's really hard right now. But if you get a social hobby, like if you maybe go, I don't know, if there's gardening classes or gardening, if you could even give lessons, or boxing or dancing, hip hop dancing, ballet dancing, doing art like woodworking, blacksmithing, going to learn coding. If you go and do a hobby and you have social interaction around that hobby, it's going to be much easier to find a girl that you click with and that has similar interests as you, and then you can naturally bring up the phone number conversations and going on dates, and maybe even naturally form a relationship. Most people that I know meet their partners this way, is being socially active. I don't know your life, maybe you're like this already, but that's always the piece of advice that I give people who are searching for a partner, is to be more socially active and doing things. Don't just go to the bar, don't just go to the cafe, actually go out and find classes and do things with other people, because that way you meet like-minded people, and thus you can find people that are interested in you and that you're interested in. It's going to happen every single time. There's attractive people that are into everything. So go out there and get a social hobby, and you'll meet some nice, attractive girl who you share thoughts and feelings with. Lastly, there's got to be some gratitude and acceptance around being bald. It sounds like you haven't fully accepted it yet. I still sometimes struggle with it, so this is not something that I'm a professional at or that I'm super great at. But us bald guys have got to accept the fact that we're bald. There gets to a point, and I'm pretty much at that point, where not even hair replacement or hair plugs, whatever they're called, hair transplants can work, because they cut off pieces from the back and then they move it up here. And so if it's receded back far enough, I think it's a lost cause. Maybe in the future they will make some sort of stem cell, CRISPR powered hair growth formula that we can rub on, and then all of a sudden it reactivates all of our dead hair follicles. Maybe that will happen, who knows? But until that time, we've got to accept being bald. And also, women accept bald men more as they get up into their 30s and 40s, because most men start to go bald. It just happens. So as you're getting up there in age, you're 33 right now, but once you get 40, it's going to be even more normalized, and the women that you're going to be dating are going to care even less about you being bald. The problem is probably that you're dating these younger women, and that you also have had experience up until this point of being 33 with younger women that actually care about hair. But I know women in the 30s care much less about it than you think. So you'll grow into being bald, and you'll probably look even better as you age. I know the comedian Tom Segura, he went bald pretty early, and I think right now he looks his best with his big beard and his bald head. He looks super manly, super great, and so I think that men actually age well into baldness. As the lines on their face start getting a little deeper, your beard gets a little bit more gray, and you just look, I don't know, like a wise, bald wizard. In summary, try out Tinder with no expectations, get a social hobby, also find something, the thing that makes you the most passionate. Maybe there's a hole missing in your life that you need to fill, like I did with this show, and then also practice a little gratitude and acceptance. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it shed some light into what it's like as a bald guy trying to date, and as a bald guy in general. Maybe I didn't share enough of my experience, but I've definitely hit some roadblocks as well, where women have said things about me not having hair and said things about me being short. But that just means those weren't the right women for me. That's all it means. It's not a reflection of my self-worth and of my value. It's a reflection on them and their values and how, I don't know, kind of lame they are, you know? Accept your baldness. You got support from me. Feel free to reach out whenever. Stay in contact with me. Hey to the bald community on Reddit if you ended up watching this, if I do end up posting it there. This is kind of a different sort of video for me. If you like it, let me know in the comments. If you do have comments about being bald, also make a comment. Comment. So that's been today's Joe Show about being bald and thoughtful and whatever. If you like my content, again, hit that subscribe button and mash that bell to get a notification every time I upload a new video. If you want to reach out to me, you can do it here or on Twitter at Canola Natoli, or you can send me an email, hijoeshow@gmail.com. And until next time, stay thoughtful, because I love you.